So we are here today with Marcus Moses closing at the title company. He just purchased a brand new home with D.R. Horton. And we were just kind of talking a little bit about the journey over the last 6 months. Mr. Marcus, you know, your transaction was a peculiar one because you had to sell a house, right?
Yes.
To be able to buy a house.
Absolutely.
And what do we call that? There's a term for that.
That term is called, you want to ask me, I told you.
A contingency, right?
Thank you. Contingency.
Contingency. So a contingency is where you want to buy another home, but you need to sell your home first. So the sale of your new home is contingent upon you selling your old home. But here's the thing, the people that bought your home, they also had to sell their home. So this was what we call a double contingency, which is rare, and honestly, a lot of things could have gone south, especially during the inspection process. But we're sitting here today at the finish line, and you are being blessed with your new home. So in your own words, kind of let us know what happened over the last 6 months.
Oh, it's been a struggle. Well, I'll put it lightly. Just going through the whole process of preparing the home and showing the home, and as we're living in the home, so that was very tough. As we went through, also the contingency, the person buying my home, they had some issues with financing and that sort of thing, so it got pushed back several times. They were moving from out of state, so the entire process was very tiring, for lack of a better word, but it feels absolutely wonderful to finally have had faith and believed and prayed, and and now we're here. So it's worth all the effort that went into it.
Yep. Now, if you remember correctly, you had a contract on your home, and they backed out at the last minute, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then you had to put your house back on the market, and it took what, maybe 2 months, possibly 3, before you get that second contract.
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah.
So how was it during that time when they canceled out at the last minute and you had to put the house back on the market?
It seemed like we were just never going to sell the house, and we kind of decided that it wouldn't be until maybe next summer before we could move the house. So, but fortunately, we got somebody that was in the market and ready to buy.
Yep. Now, when we went to go look at homes, we actually started looking at what we call resale homes that people have bought, before. They were living in it. Some of them actually already moved out. Some of these houses were vacant. So we started by looking at resale properties, but how did we end up buying a brand new home?
With the brand new home, D.R. Horton continuously followed up with me, sending me emails, sending me information. And before we put that bid on that existing home, I decided to just go by and just give them an opportunity, because they really earned it, because I went out early on and just kind of visited a property just to look around. I wasn't interested in buying a new home, but with all the information they sent me and all the specials and all the different things, I decided, over there, just go out and take a look.
Yep.
Here we are.
Now, one of the things that we were up against in this area, because you were very specific that you had to be zoned to a specific school for your son, right?
Yes.
So we were limited in which houses were available. So when we did go see the resale properties, one of the things that was kind of like a stumbling block is when we did the quotes for the insurance on those homes. Do you remember what the insurance quote, the annual quote for those resale homes were?
I don't remember the annual, but it was almost 3 times as much. You're looking at $267 versus $109 on a new home.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think those homes, I want to say they could have been early 2000s, right?
2013, I think, was the one I was most interested in.
Okay. Okay. And I believe those premiums came in over $3,000 for the year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. So by buying a brand new home, even though the new home cost a little bit more, the payment is actually lower because the cost of insurance was less, but then also you got a special incentive on your financing.
Absolutely.
What was that?
On the financing, they did a buyback, so my first 2 years are substantially less than my actual mortgage cost, and then even with the permanent payment was way less because I got a much lower interest rate. So it was a win-win all the way.
So you got what's called a double buy down. So they did a fixed buy down of 4.75%, and then they stacked it with a 2-1 buy down, which means in your first year, your rate's going to be 2% lower than the 4.75. So it'll be the 2.75. Then it'll jump to the 3.75, and then it'll end up at the fixed 4.75.
Yes.
Yep. So that's what you call a double buy down. They stacked 2 buy downs. So because of the 4.75 and the cost of the insurance being lower, you ended up with a total mortgage payment way lower on a house that was probably about, I would say, $50,000 more than those resale properties, right?
Yeah, definitely 50,000. A little over 50, probably 55 or so. Yeah.
Yep. So at the end of the day, it comes down to the numbers.
Absolutely, that was the motivation right there. Was the cost, and you're not even throwing in the fact that all new appliances and those sorts of things. So it was a no-brainer.
There you go. All right. So if someone was to watch this video and they had to put their house on the market and wait for someone to buy it so that they can move on to the next, what advice would you give them?
Be patient and hang in there. Don't give up. You just gotta wait. There's a buyer out there that needs that property that fits their lifestyle, their situation, and hang in there. Don't give up and pray.
There you go. You gotta pray just to make it today.
Absolutely.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.